All right, ladies and gentlemen, Promise here once again with another game of this guy in the bottom right side. He is basically kind of on fire. Very good, just a very solid Korean Zerg player, Korean Protoss player, excuse me. I love his creativity when it comes to playing Protoss. He's very good with his multitasking, he's very good with his decision making, and quite honestly, having watched his stream quite a bit, he does a lot of things that not many Protoss players do. So this is kind of a sign of someone that's very, very smart when approaching a new game like Heart of the Swarm. I'm going to stop talking him up so much. I'm just going to tell you who it is. It's actually just Root Sage, who I just got done casting. If you guys haven't checked that out, he played against Liquid Zinio on the map Whirlwind. Now, his opponent is going to be another champion, actually a many-time champion, if that's even the right way of saying it. He's won many championships, is I guess my point being here. It's our Red Protoss player, Liquid HerO. So, HerO against Sage. This is going to be such an exciting game just because these two players, in my opinion, have a lot of similar attributes when it comes to their decision-making in game. HerO, known to be a very creative player. Of course, Sage, known to be a very creative player as well. Both of them play very, very quickly. Most Koreans, actually, most Asians in general, I'm not being racist here, are just very fast with their fingers. I don't know if it's the piano or the violin. It could be a lot of other things. But both of these players are very close when it comes to when it comes to creativity and when it comes to deciding what to do in a game at certain moments. That's basically what I'm trying to get at here. So, Sage, of course, I'm really interested to see his PvP. I've seen a little bit of his PvZ, having casted a game of Liquid Zinio. Doesn't really display too much about his PvZ, but if you guys watch his stream, you can definitely see the kind of builds he likes to experiment with on ladder. Now, HerO, what is he going to be going for so far early on in this PvP? It looks like it's just going to be a very common opening with this gateway into a cybernetics core. Same exact thing going on the other side right now for Sage. PvP has become such a dynamic matchup. In Wings of Liberty, you would basically only see Colossus, unless you're going for some sort of a one-base blink, some sort of an immortal push. Of course, Warp Prisms became a little bit more popular in the later stages of Wings of Liberty. Immortal drops. Some players, not going to point any names here, you guys might know who I'm talking about, even use Colossus drops in the PvP matchup. But now a lot of it's been about Void Rays, early Mothership cores, a lot of Phoenix. It's become a little bit more macro-oriented. It's a lot easier to go ahead and take a natural expansion just because you have the Photon Overcharge ability with the Mothership core that can help you defend any kind of incoming push. But we look at the production tab, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing a very quick Twilight Council coming out from HerO. This has me thinking he's going to be going for Dark Shrine. We're having the Warhound. God, this is so annoying to actually cast these Warhounds. I just want to see probes again. I really want to see some probes again in the next cast. Hopefully I won't be getting the replays with this Warhound April Fool's joke kind of thing. But back to my point, I think this is going to be DTs from HerO because he has not added any sort of second or third gateway. But Sage knows, he knows what's going on. And now it's going to be up to HerO to kind of see if he's going to fake it or is he going to commit to DTs. It's going to be a little bit late now, so I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into maybe 3-4 gate blink. Just as I say that, we're seeing the second and the third gateway being added right now for HerO. Meanwhile, the tech choice right now for Sage, it is going to be a Stargate followed by a second gateway. Okay, so this, by the looks of this build from Sage, he actually can go into Oracles or into Phoenix. Oracles, of course, are a new unit in Heart of the Swarm. Boom, just like that. We're going to be seeing the Oracle get chrono boosted out right now for Sage. And this actually does a tremendous amount of damage against any mineral line, Terran, Zerg, Protoss, whatever. It doesn't matter. It just kills your harvesters extremely quickly. And if HerO is not going to be ready for it, if he's not going to have any units in time by the natural or by the main mineral line, he can lose a lot of economy. And just like that, Sage can be that much closer to winning the game. But we'll have to see what Sage is going to decide to do with this Oracle. Oracle is just now going to pop out for Sage. Going to make his way towards the main base behind it, getting another Oracle, getting a Nexus. Liquid HerO at the same time has planted down that Nexus of his own, going into Blink and Robotics Facility. Okay, so Blink Immortal is what it's looking like right now for HerO. Very similar to Wings of Liberty. I'm going to look at the units count. Both players do have a mothership core. And actually, there's a little bit of action going on in the main base. I don't think too much happened. Only one worker killed for HerO. But here comes Oracle into the main base right now of our Protoss player. That Photon Overcharge is going to kill this Oracle, and that's actually pretty huge in this early stage of the game. That's a lot of gas invested into that one Oracle. Looks like... okay, so Sage does have a second Oracle. There it is. It's probably going to make its way once again into the main of HerO. But I want to look at Sage's vision. He does not yet know that his opponent has thrown down a natural expansion. But it looks like HerO's expansion is going to finish a little bit sooner. We're going to see that Void Ray transition again. This is very common. You see a lot of Protoss players in PvP open up Oracle. Sometimes they open up Phoenix. But eventually their goal is to be transitioning into Void Rays. That the prismatic alignment, I believe, is the ability. Makes Void Rays so much more powerful in Heart of the Swarm. And here we go. We see the Oracle swinging into the natural expansion of HerO. HerO is actually down to 50 supply. 56 workers killed so far for Sage. It's going to be 58, or 58, what am I saying? 3 workers killed. But at the same time, we're seeing HerO starting to posture towards this natural expansion of Sage. Proxy Pylon is already in position. Oracle still in the main base, going to do some more damage. Overall, 9 workers killed. That's a lot. If you guys look at the supply count now, 47 supply to 55. HerO is going to know that his opponent has the Nexus down because of that Photon Overcharge. I mean, that thing has a crazy amount of range. He can just see the cannon fire off. I mean, from here to there, that's a freaking large distance, guys. That's the Photon Overcharge is definitely a new dynamic in the PvP matchup. Units count for Sage. What does he have on the map? He already transitioned into these Void Rays, has a good amount of Stalkers. HerO, having lost a lot of economy, wants to maybe go for a push or at least maintain his opponent. He's still making probes back home. Force Field's being thrown down here by Sage. We'll be able to trap a few of these units. Blink has completed for HerO, and he does have more Stalkers. But quite honestly, this army of Sage can beat this army of HerO just because of the prismatic alignment ability by these Void Rays. Now at the natural expansion, looks like HerO doesn't even care. Going to blink into the main base, trying to pick off this Mothership Core. The Mothership Core is basically like sentries. You need to keep it alive as long as possible to go ahead and get as much energy onto that thing as possible. But HerO controlling this very nicely. Going to go ahead and blink right out of there. Back home, he's still making these probes. Natural is still up. I want to compare economy very quickly. 34 probes to 27 probes. Oh my god, a few Stalkers actually killed there by Sage. HerO's going to focus on the Void Ray, so no Void Rays on the map right now for Sage. Another Void Ray in the production tab, transitioning into Robotics Facility. Smart choice for Sage. Seeing this many Blink Stalkers, Immortals is a very good choice, but the only thing is he does not want to get surprised by a tech switch here from HerO, but HerO's just committing to Stalkers right now, man. 51 supply to 73. Sage seems to have so much more units, but now we're going to have the Stalkers into the main base. We're going to have a Zealot being warped in. That's going to get targeted down very, very quickly. Mothership Core dies again. The second time in this game, I believe, the Mothership Core actually died for Sage. So this is kind of crucial because he has to remake it. He has to wait until the energy gathers for whatever ability he decides to use. Be it Time Warp, be it Photon Overcharge, or the Recall ability, which is not really used too much in PvP. But back home, I want to look at the base of HerO. HerO's still not really producing any kinds of Immortal. He's still very, very aggressive, so not much tech has been changed in the main base of HerO. He's still just trying to control the map with these Stalkers, blinking into the natural, blinking as well into the main base, but Sage has been doing a fantastic job of defending this, and this is kind of the point where there's Immortals on the map right now for Sage. So if we just look at tech, Sage has a Stargate, Sage has a Robotics Facility, where if we look at the tech of HerO, as we actually have an Oracle in the main base, 11 more kills? How the hell did I miss this Oracle? But it's actually going to die. But overall, 19 workers killed for Sage. That is a big number in Protoss versus Protoss, and the supply count kind of tells a tale at this point in the game. And Sage feeling rather confident, has a very scary army. Now, HerO still can control the map with the blink. Actually, a little bit of miscontrol here by Sage. Going to be able to lose the Void Ray. Going to blink back once again. These Zealots are going to do some damage. But, of course, the ability of HerO is this blink. There's no blink for Sage. He's actually not even deciding to go into Twilight Council at all. Directly going into this robotic space. So, Colossus is going to be the choice here for Sage. And when I said Void Ray against Void Ray in PvP, That does not mean Colossus is completely eliminated, but hold on, there's actually a little bit of a fight going on here at the center of the map. So yeah, I mean, Colossus are still used in PvP, but if your opponent's going Stargate and you're going Colossus off of some sort of a 1 base, you're probably going to lose because you're going to be investing a lot of your gas, a lot of your mineral resources into chrono boosting out the Colossus. And Void Rays, I mean, the Colossus doesn't jump in the air and attack Void Rays, so it kind of explains itself. Void Rays are very, very good against Colossus. So Sage, making the smart choice once again, knows he has an advantage in supply, knows he has a bigger army, a tech advantage as well with this Stargate as well as the robotics facility tech. He's going to take a third. And now this is going to be up to HerO to decide what is he going to do. Does he take a third? Does he add on a bunch of gateways and try to go for some sort of a 2-base push? It looks like he's going into charge, so this has me thinking this is going to be a Charge Lot Archon transition here for HerO, which is a very strong composition. But once the Colossus get into higher numbers, I'm just all over the map, man. HerO's just continuing to use this blink. I have no idea how the hell he got into the main base from this side of the map, but he did, and he killed off a few of these harvesters. Look at these warhounds go to work on these stalkers. So HerO's still kind of trying to come back into this game, and the supply count is actually getting very, very close. 90 supply to 100. But back to my point, Charge Slot Archon is a very good composition against Colossus in low numbers, but once the Protoss has 3 or 4 Colossus, they have range. In my opinion, Charge Slot Archon is not really a viable army composition anymore. Usually, in this stage, you would just see Colossus against Colossus, but HerO, maybe feeling a little bit confident in his control with his Blink Stalkers, maybe can blink on top of the Colossus, get a few hits, and maybe take the win, but we'll have to see. 111 supply to 100 supply right now. No proxy pylons in position at all for HerO. Looks like Sage going to move across the map, but at the same time, HerO will spot this third base. Going to see the Nexus, going to see a few of these Warhounds, aka probes, mining at the third base. So we'll be able to pick off a pylon. Of course, this is, once again, the power of the mobility. Actually, might even lose a Colossus here for Sage. In fact, he will lose that Colossus. So nice little pick off once again for HerO. Really showing us some really good blink control. But the problem is the actual army of Sage. Let's look at the units count. 4 Immortals, 1 Colossus, 11 Stalkers, and a Mothership Core. There is no third in sight at all for HerO. HerO, meanwhile, has 2 Archons, 4 Immortals, 8 Zealots, Observers, of course, and that Mothership Core, too. So Mothership Core is not really going to be game-changing at all. You know, sometimes it can be with the Time Warp ability in the early game, but it comes down to the actual army composition. Looking at both armies, this army of Sage, in my opinion, actually, I keep saying in my opinion, but quite honestly, I feel it's a lot stronger compared to what HerO has. These Immortals are going to be good to try to get in front of the face of these Colossus, but now we're going to see another Colossus join here very, very shortly. Where is that second Colossus? There it is. So 2 Colossus on the map. Of course, 1 very good, but 2 makes a pretty huge difference when it comes to dealing with Charge Slot Archon, and it looks like HerO is going to get ready, getting some proxy pylons once again in the main base. We're having a nice little group of Stalkers, 5 Stalkers into the main, trying to pick off some pylons, maybe even a few probes, trying to focus down this Immortal. Sage so good about not A-moving his entire army into the main base, splitting his units very nicely, knowing that, hey, HerO, last time I scouted you, you did not have a third base. You're probably posturing towards my third. Let me go ahead and prepare for any kind of incoming attack. The Observer's already there for HerO, so he knows kind of the angle his opponent's going to be engaging, or at least being defensive. But slowly but surely, this game it's getting in the favor of Sage. 149 supply to 135. Do they have any sort of upgrades? No upgrades for HerO. Meanwhile, Sage just now getting started on +1. It's going to finish a lot sooner compared to HerO. We're also seeing the Dark Shrine in the production tab for Sage. Both players are going to start to posture up. This is going to be such a huge engagement. Both players need to split the Colossus to the best of their abilities, but it looks like HerO kind of hugging in the back in the left side of the map. But here we go. Sage going to be able to use that splash damage with the Colossus. Going to pull the probes for a little bit of a buffer, but it looks like HerO is not going to have enough units. Charge is done as well for Sage. That Dark Shrine going to finish very closely, but I don't think it's even going to get to that point in the game. Oh my god, Sage is cleaning house over the army of HerO. The Archons basically did nothing. 3 Immortals left for HerO to try to run in and focus down the Colossus. I mean, the thing here was the engagement and the way HerO engaged into the army. He did not have any sort of a concave against these Colossus with thermal lance, and Sage kind of just clean that attack very, very easily. We're still seeing HerO trying to run around the map here with these Blink Stalkers. Going to get into the main base. 63 supply to 104 supply. I mean, this does not really even matter. These Stalkers might be able to pick off a few things. Actually, they're not really going to pick off too much, as we see some DTs here being warped in from Sage. Meanwhile, across the side of the map, we are seeing the actual army of Sage. These Colossus are untouched. Stalkers are untouched. The Mothership Core is still there. I guess it's kind of cool to point out the Mothership Core as if it's going to be game-changing, but it's just the army of Sage is way too big compared to HerO. He's going to lose the third base. Third base is still up for Sage. We're going to see some Zealots do some damage as well. But HerO does not have anything, guys. I mean, five Stalkers, 2 Archons, 3 Zealots against 5 Colossus, 6 Stalkers, 3 Mortals. This game is very close to being over, but HerO trying to do something. I mean, he's trying to pick off at least... HerO's like, I gotta at least get this Nexus before I leave this game, or even kill a few more probes. That's good and dandy, and I mean, that's great, but he's not gonna win this game at all. I mean, there it is. So HerO throws in the towel. Sage playing a very, very good game, showing us the way PvP has kind of been played in Heart of the Swarm. Of course, I don't want to say 100% people have been going for Colossus, but you see a lot of Stargate openings. People are becoming a lot more comfortable opening Phoenix, opening Oracles, opening up Void Rays. There's even a few cute one-base Void Ray all-ins that you can do in Heart of the Swarm that are very, very powerful. But the gist of that game is Sage did a lot of damage in the early game. If you're going to lose 12, 13, 14 probes to an Oracle in the main base and your opponent's on 2 base and you're just starting to saturate your own natural, quite honestly, at that point, you're basically playing from behind. So Sage executed the Oracle harassment very, very good in the early stages of the game, built an economic advantage, got the Colossus ball, and took out Liquid HerO. So anyway, guys, that's going to conclude our cast for tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Go ahead and click the subscribe button onto my YouTube channel. And with that being said, stay safe, good luck, and have fun.